Okay, thank you so much for having me. I see like a bunch of familiar faces as well. I have my lovely staff here tonight. I met Jessica actually when I just got out of the Slimer. She came to my house and gave me a sandwich. No, an eclair. An eclair. Because I was like, I don't want a bologna sandwich. That's what they give you in jail. That's your very nutritious meal. So a little bit about me. July 4th, 2015. I was in close proximity to 2 kilograms of cocaine, and you asked me any other day, I would have been like, this is awesome. 2 keys? This is great. But not on that day. Not on that day. That's because I was riding on an airplane with them, home from St. Lucia, with my partner at the time, but I was furious because I did not want to be bringing those kilos of cocaine on plane. I liked plane rides. I don't really like them now. Mind you, I haven't really been on one since. But other than that, it was a complete surprise to me when I got down there that I was going to be transporting these drugs. And I like to consider, when you're with someone, you like to be like that ride or die. You like to be like the best girlfriend who's like so obedient and pleases their partner. And that's exactly what I wanted to do. And I just kind of did what he wanted me to do so I could go home. And prior to that, I guess he'd kind of taken my passport information, sent it off to people in St. Lucia, and told them that I was bringing drugs back with me on this trip. So it was a very rude awakening when I got down there. So a lot of bad decisions, like a lot of drug and alcohol abuse prior to that kind of made me feel like I needed to do that to please him. The drugs and alcohol fabricated this relationship that we have, at least my sense of what it was. Everything that he did, I saw it as love, and everything that I did for him, I saw it as love. And that was just the alcohol and cocaine talking. That wasn't actually real. Bullshit. Sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear.
You can swear all the fuck you want.
Okay. Okay, yeah, my mom's not here, so that's okay. Meanwhile, okay, so I'm on this airplane ride, and it is the most turbulent flight. But there's not a cloud in the sky, and that's because I do not know what the hell I'm going to do when I land. I'm going to do what he wants me to do, which is try to get through the border, but I'm an absolute nervous wreck. Mind you, you can kind of see 2 kilograms of cocaine stuck on me. Like, it was like I had 2 Kleenex boxes. I'm walking through the airport with a sundress and a cardigan. Like, where's a cardigan home from a Caribbean country? Anyway, so pretty much immediately, get pulled into secondary, and he's freaking out at this point because his miraculous plan has been ruined because he's given me no coaching on who I am that day. Am I his girlfriend? Am I his wife? Do I hold his hand? Like, what's going on? No guidance. So I'm just going into just winging it at this point. And secondary right away, I'm like, okay, but I'm not gonna sabotage the operation because if you're in the middle of a drug deal, like you're not just gonna be like, poof, product gone, and then it's your fault. And then these people have all your personal information anyway, so I didn't know. Are they going to chop my parents' heads off? Like, I didn't know. I wasn't involved in organized crime at all. Like, I had no idea what I was doing, completely ignorant. So yeah, they questioned me in secondary, and they're like, so Mr. Bryan, what do you do for work? And at that time, I had a social media company in Toronto, and they asked me how much I made. And I was honest, and then they're like, so do you like to party? And I'm like, well, yeah. I thought that was, my honesty helped me there. And then they're like, okay, so you don't have any drugs in your suitcase, right? I'm like, no, definitely not. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm getting through, maybe. And they're like, Miss O'Brien, we gotta ask you, got any drugs on you right now? And I'm like, okay, well, no one coached me on this question. And I stared at the floor. I took so long to answer that they had to ask me a second time. And at this point, I have no color left in my face. And I was tan. Like now I'm white as a ghost. And so I'm just like, okay, there's no point in lying to a federal agent. Like, I'm already busted, and I knew that at that point, like, telling the truth would help me. So I got arrested. Parents have to bail me out now because I've committed an indictable offense. I thought that I was gonna maybe get to do community service. And I was like, where's the balls? Where's the graffiti? Anything. Like, I will literally do anything. I'll pick up garbage. Like, that's not the punishment for that kind of thing. And that's not how the law works. And he did not take my charges. Like, none of that bullshit works when it comes to bringing drugs over the border. So everything that he said that he would do if anything went wrong, but there was a very, very small chance of that, he didn't do that anyway. So now I'm on house arrest. My bail was set at $50,000. And I'm like, how did my life get here? Like, I graduated from university with honors, and I always had jobs. I paid my own way through school. Like, I knew that I was a hustler, and I knew that I was going somewhere in life. It was not on my 5-year plan that I was going to prison 2.5 years later. And so I spent a lot of time being angry, a lot of time surrounding myself and living in victimhood. It was my favorite place to live because everyone else is like, he did that to you, he did that to you. And I was like, yeah, he did that to me. And that wasn't helping anything. It was just Band-Aid solution after Band-Aid solution, drugs, alcohol, sex, whatever. Anything to like pass the time until these proceedings were finalized. And it was just causing me more pain. Like, the biggest lie that drugs and alcohol tell you is that they're making you stronger. But they actually make you so weak. And once I decided to become sober, when I was sentenced to 4 years in prison, that's when the healing actually started. And that's when I knew that I wanted to change things. Like, I knew that I had a good heart, and I knew that I could still do something with the situation, and that I had a really good family to help me get out of that situation too. So I had to take all these things that I had and build something different. And I was like, well, what am I gonna build? I don't know. I didn't know I was gonna have popcorn in prison, but we did. That's a nice surprise. And we also had access to some spices. And I was like, I wanna not just share my story. I wanna help share everyone else's story that's been in here. Everyone else's, like, voice that has made a mistake and wants a second chance, because society is a bunch of bullies when you come out. They're like, oh yeah, we need to put people in prison to like cure them or fix them, and then they're coming out and they're like, no, you're still not good enough. And I was like, this is bullshit. So I was like, this is so not true. Some of the most successful people in business have made like the most colossal, disastrous fuck-ups ever and come back from it. And I knew that I also like to embrace risk. I just embraced the wrong kind of risk. So I was going to take a different kind of risk, and I was going to use my creativity for good instead of for bad. And that's when I decided to start a popcorn company. And I wanted to make it so that I could employ people and encourage other employers to do the same and hire people with criminal backgrounds, because it's so stupid how people like see people with records as like, dumb and not skilled and has no talent, is gonna steal from them. Like, if anything, I can vouch for my staff, like they have like never missed a shift, like in a year. Like, they are the best. And so I'm so proud of the work that they do for Constant Criminals, and that's what I do, is I tell employers to do the same, because I can only hire so many people. I would hire everyone if I could, but I think as a society we need to make our economy stronger, our community safer, and just everyone a little bit happier and more fulfilled by giving everyone a second chance, because I don't give a fuck who you are.
Yes.
You have made a mistake in your life and you've had to ask for forgiveness. So, but just by teaching that, and what? Oh, sorry, it's not called Constant Criminals anymore. It's called Comeback Snacks. Comeback Snacks, because that's what we did in the last year. And you can call it a comeback this time. So thank you very much. If you have any questions.